in alphabetical sort. So, I know that the in-game rating for this is a 24. So it's a 24 because the game says it is. I definitely think this is on the harder end of the scale.
Oh, yeah?
I think some players may feel that it's closer to a 25 in terms of difficulty. It's, yeah, we know.
It has a lot of like hard rhythms to keep up with. And it snaps back and forth between funky rhythms to like regular ones, and it goes
Yeah, and
right
this
back
is,
to it.
it's certainly a very challenging chart. You know, implementing some of the SMX technique, it ends up being more challenging than its original iteration. And also, it's just hard for SMX in general. This is a challenging chart.
Ooh, Paranoia was an early perfect. And, oh, yeah, we have the card draw up. So now it's best of 5, right? Or is it?
I believe it is.
Paranoia Boy in the lead.
It picks up one off note at some point, but it looks like his overall accuracy is better at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, Grady maintaining that gold combo is not to be understated. That's very impressive on this song.
It's such a close match right now.
Yeah, we're in territory where they're win trading. Yeah, the chart like this is very difficult when you have to switch that quickly between the gallops into the 16ths, and it just goes back and forth.
Oh,
All
Paranoia
right.
Boy taking song 1, go 60, go. And
Yeah, well, it looks like that was his preference.
yes,
That was his initial pick. You can ignore in the card draw that it's showing you the hard 18 for the chart. We all know it's a wild tournament.
and now we're saying, I see you.
I need you.
I need you. I gotta learn how to read.
I need you. Well, again, it's a 22. It's going to be fairly straightforward in comparison to other things on this chart. You know, there's another 22 at the end of that draw there in Bubbles, but Bubbles is much more techy. I Need You is very just bursty, kind of streamy. Expecting this to be a very close game, considering you kept the margins pretty close between both players the entire way through on that very difficult 24. In comparison, this 22 should be a cakewalk for timing. But it all comes down to actual execution, so you just see what happens when you get into game 2.
Ooh, out the gates, a bad judgment from Grady. Paranoia Boy taking the early lead. Now they're tied. Or, yep.
That was a really early step. That's sometimes the pitfall of these sections of the charts that are basically breaks. You don't want to get too complacent that you mess up a literal quarter note in a sea of emptiness.
Ooh, Grady taking the lead here.
Yeah, lots of like staircase patterns. And some interesting brackets occurring at the same time. Looks like Grady's pulling ahead again. Little stop for flavor.
Paranoia, it's a complete tug of war the entire time. Nuts. I really don't know who's going to win this. I know Paranoia Boy's leading it. Can he pull it? Yes, he does.
Yeah, he just slightly pulled ahead towards the end there, and he kept it going.
Yes.
You know, these players, you know, when it just comes down to some basic sparse notes at the end, they're not going to drop there
They are
readily.
not. 6 and 6 perfects.
6 and 6. So Grady was just slightly a little more off on 1 or 2 of those perfects.
Yeah. Hope he could take it back in 403. That's 403, right?
403.
Yeah. 403, cool. Ooh, I see bubbles later on. That's a tricky chart.
Yeah, very technical.
Yeah.
And another dose of Hispanic Panic, which we've already seen twice today, I think.
Yes. Live Moss.
But yeah, 403 is going to be, that's a tricky one to time. You hear that little melodic piano over the track?
Yeah.
That's the sound of the step chart.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think this begins fairly straightforward, but it's got some killer runs in it. So game 3, 403. Subtitle Tokyo 2021, Naoki Underground.
Again, this is Grady's pick. Ooh. It looks like he's giving a little bit to Paranoia.
It's all right. Again, this is in the same vein of Paradise and other charts we've seen that have hard sections or hard runs in them. That's really going to be the deciding factor. So still plenty of room for things to change.
Yeah.
I remember, just like my band director always said, count your measures of rest.
Oh.
That's a hard stop.
That is. Grady just pulled forward with that.
Yeah, and even then, like, he was not completely on the beat there. Those perfects were noticeably early, but it's Paranoia Boy who's going to pick up the early on that one. You don't want to get tripped up by things like the little errant lift thrown in, especially since you've got lots of stream and gallop to go.
Paranoia Boy leading in the last stretch.
And he's going to take game 3.
Yep, he's got it.
That was just by a factor of less than 30 points.
And that's again, we're going to see all these last matches are going to be close.
See, look at that.
just like
Grady's
that.
crystal clear run, 13 piece, but Paranoia Boy 5 and a 1, but it's just tight enough that takes the lead.
Yeah.